posted public or live actually for a long time, and I haven't done any videos that I've posted. Videos is because of storage issues, and lives is generally because at the moment I have data on my phone to do lives when I'm not at home. So I'm just going to go at the front, and I'm hoping that the Wi-Fi at home, because my internet's still connected but my phone data is disconnected, just for the moment, just for another few days or so. I'm getting that sorted, but I'm hoping. So the reason why every day I keep thinking, oh, I should do a live today, or I should share this, or I should share that, and there is so many times you're on my mind, and so many times I want to share stuff with you. Oh no, I lost it. Okay, I have to be quick because the sky looked amazing before and it's already changed colour. So I'll see if I can turn this around. Right, so I'm out here and I've been hedging. I'm using my big hedger, and that was almost up to the PowerPoint pole before, so I've taken all that down. The purple geisha was up about that height, the tree, so I've been doing a lot of hedging, and then I had to wait for the hedger to, you can see, that's just a chair for my clients. So just make sure you can't see my number plate. Yeah, so basically all along there was overgrown up high, so I've been doing all that today when I got home from church, and I'll just make sure you can't see my number, my post box number, trying to get more savvy, YouTube savvy. So basically, yeah, that's all the stuff I chopped down today. It was really high. Anyways, so that's the sky. But before it was really orange. It actually had the most stunning orange and pink. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to rush inside and grab my phone and show this to you all. I missed it though. I'll show it to you tomorrow. All of that was covered in orange, all those trees, and the whole town was covered in orange. Only like 10 minutes ago, hey? So that was at, what, 5:30? So I have to make sure next, yeah, because the sun's going down already. So basically what's happened here is that was all covered in orange, all those buildings, all that green, those trees, everything was covered in this beautiful orange glow. You can see the sun setting on the other side. You can't actually see it. But anyways, the sun, I can see it. The sun is just behind the mountain, and that was all covered in the most golden haze. It was just stunning. It was spectacular. And the sky was rose pink, orange, and I promise you tomorrow I will definitely do a YouTube of it, because that is what's inspired me to finally do a live today, because I wanted to show it to you, and I missed it by like 4 minutes. Can you believe it? 4 minutes. Anyways, that got me all set up for saying hello to you all. So what I'll do now that I've got you on, and that my Wi-Fi is actually working on my phone. I don't know if I've ever shown you this front garden before. So this is my front garden bed here, and I'm just waiting for the hedger to regain its battery power. It's getting a bit dark, so I might not. So this is a step that I'm building, and I'm building a little patio down there, and I'm going to be building grass in there to put a bench there. So it's going to be really nice. So I was going to come in here before the hedger went died on me, but I've done the other side, and yeah, it's looking good in here. Haven't been out here for a while. Everything's looking good, because we've been getting rain a lot, and so I haven't actually come out here yet. The wandoo's looking good. My little pink chrysanthemum's looking good. Everything's looking good. I haven't been here for ages out the front, actually. It's like a trek. We're doing this trek together. I planted these last year. It was tiny. I dug a hole in the ground last year. It was with the crowbar before, and had a hole digger, and it was so hard. It was so hard. And I've got this one here growing too. I remember when I dug the holes in here last year, it was so hard because the ground here is so hard, and I was determined, because I wanted to get a barricade in there to put privacy between us and the other house. This is all going to be turned into a really nice pathway in here, but I have to get these pavers cut to shape, so I'm going to get onto that. But yeah, it's fun coming out the front here. I haven't done it for a while. But I'm inspired to do the hedging today because that big plant that I took about 2.5 or 3 meters off, that was actually growing into my neighbour's. That was actually going into my neighbour's. I had to cut it back to my neighbour basically. And sorry, I'll just get up these steps. So now that I've got you on YouTube, I'll just give you a quick update. My job, my house reno job that I've been doing, is going really, 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 really well. So far I've been, it's an old house, it's an older woman, and it's an old house, and wow, sorry, and it was a cheaply built kit home, so I had to do a lot of wall prepping, like wall repairing. I had to repair her walls before I could paint them, so it's taken a little bit longer than it should have, and it's been very hard work on my shoulder and my wrist, but I've done that, and I got my first coat of paint on yesterday, so it's so fantastic because we've got the main room of her house almost ready to move her furniture back in. Then we'll start really doing some decluttering, and then we're going to move on to working on her kitchen and going outside, so it's really exciting. There's real progress happening there, so that job's working out really well. She and I got a really good relationship going on, and so that job's happening really well. I've got a disability job about to start where they set me as a worker without the VAC whack, so that's fantastic. Finally I can get work as a support worker, qualified support worker, which is what I am, one of the things that I am. The volunteer work that I do at the op shop is just absolutely fantastic. That's every Friday, and that's just, I'm absolutely adoring that. I'm loving. I realise there's people that just come every Friday for the contact rather than just to buy things, and so it's a real being of service to the community, and that's just. And the lady I work with, the lady who's been running it for 5 years, oh, she's just mind blowing. She's like my mentor. She's such a wise woman, and I'm absolutely loving that. And the other thing that's been amazing is I had my beautiful son from Germany and his wife come over and stay for 2 days. And I had my other son from Perth come up for one night. So I had my 2 sons and my daughter-in-law stay. And that was just amazing. It was so good. And what was really fantastic about that was I had to work really hard, like really, really, really hard. Like I was doing late nights, and I was just working really hard to get the house ready for guests to stay here, because I was barely able to live in the house while I was renovating it, and I had to get it at a standard where I could have guests, and I just wanted them to feel comfortable. So it pushed me to do all this stuff that's really hard on my body, that's not enjoyable, but it's just something. It just got me the incentive to get through that hurdle, and then it got me to the other side. So now my rewards is they've come and visit. I've got beautiful memories of them being here. And now the house is homely again. It feels fantastic, and it's only going to get better and better and better. So the hardest part of the work for me, I think, with this house has been done, and that's getting the kitchen ready, because it was really, really, really hard having that kitchen disorganized, like having everything out of the kitchen so I could work on the walls in the kitchen made it very difficult for me to cook healthy foods. So it's fantastic having the kitchen in order, and the library is so close. I won't go in because the front door's just there and it's actually locked, and I can go around the house. I'll just sit here for a little bit in this chair because it's actually quite nice just to relax, and it's a nice part of the evening. And this portico, I cannot wait to work on this portico. I started this last year. It's one of the first things I started. All right, I'll show you. It is actually a scene. So basically what happened was I started stripping the paint up because it was slippery. You used to slip on it because I put this high gloss paint on, which was really dangerous. And this was dangerous. I tripped on that the first day we looked at the property. So I took all it back. They just had this coat of this thick silicone-y stuff on top of here but underneath you can see it's really deep crevice. It goes really, 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 really far, really deep down, and all on the outside as well. You can't see it because I've got the carpet here I've got clean, but ow, sorry, my arm's a bit stuffed. Hope you don't get, but this is actually the state of it all. You can see that it's really in really bad condition. So this stairwell was supposed to be a simple job, and I started it early last year just thinking, yeah, I'll take the gloss off, and then I realised, no, it's falling down, it's cracking. This is major. Like, this is actually major. So I've got to stabilise underneath and This is actually really functional. And I think I'll just focus on I'll do this later. I realised this is a much bigger job than what I planned it on being, and that was when I hadn't even unpacked the boxes yet. So I went, right, okay, I'll do that later because I'm going to pave it, crazy pave this and make it so pretty. It's going to be so nice, and I can do this. But I must say, it's just so nice sitting out here. This is such a nice space. It's a really, really, really nice space to sit in. So now that the kitchen's pretty much done, the library's almost finished. I've got a few months up my sleeve before I have to work on the retic. The backyard and the side of the yard is a scene because the dogs, since I've been working and various things, and the dogs have spent more time home alone, I have actually, because of their age and everything, they actually have dug up a lot of the ground, and I've just surrendered the backyard to them until I put a fence in. I'm just not even going to worry about the back. And so that was actually a real blessing in disguise, because as everything is, because I was able to go, right, I'm not going to focus on the gardening. Like today I did the hedging because this is cutting back stuff that's overgrown. It's not putting things in the ground, and it's not nourishing the soil. It's actually pruning, so it's a bit different. But as far as putting things in the ground and working the land, I'm not doing that for a while. Not until a fence gets put in, not until I've worked out the retic. So what it actually did for me, which is I think what was needed, was it made me focus on the house, and I just focused on the kitchen and the library, which in both those jobs were really hard because a lot of sanding and siliconing and plastering and a lot of wrist work, a lot of arm work, a lot of back work, knee work, blah, blah, blah. And, dealing with all that with my vertigo and blah, blah, blah. So I just focused on that, kept plodding along with that. Everything got so simplified. Now I've got this new job, so I've got money coming in, and, so wonderful. And, but just to be able to focus on the house and just not worry about the yard was what my brain needed, because there's so much land and so much house, and everything needs working on. Like every time I do a wall, it's like I don't just paint the wall, I actually have to fix the wall. Like when I did the kitchen and there was cracks all through the walls, and like none of these walls are stable. Every single wall needs repairing. It's like everything about this house needs repairing, except for, not everything, that's not true. The stumps don't need repairing. The electrics didn't need redoing. So it's not terrible. But anyways, it's really beautiful because it really got me to simplify and focus, which is exactly what I needed. And then when I do finish off the retic, I've got to dig up all the old retic, work out where that leak is, and then I've got to, that's going to be digging trenches everywhere. So that's going to make the backyard a scene, like a real scene. And I think I might hire one of those. Well, I can't actually, because I've got to dig to find I was going to say I could use one of those diggers, those diggers that you hire from the, earth moving places, but I can't actually do that because I've got to do it carefully. I've got to pull up the old retic, so I'm still going to do it with a shovel. Anyways, once the ground's softer with all the rain, I'll do that, and then there'll be trenches everywhere. So the backyard's just going to look crazy in a bad way. And then that's when I'll put the fences in, and then I'll save up the money to get enough money to actually get the retic done by someone who can do it proper. It needs thousands. It needs a lot of money spent on it, hey. I need new solenoids, and there's so much that needs to be done with the retic. It's like, but I'm not overwhelmed because I've got now autumn, winter, and spring. So I've got 6-9 months to save up the money to get the retic money saved so I can get someone else to do it and do a good job, a proper solid job, and then I'll be ready for summer. So the fence will be in and the retic will be in, and then around spring or even next late winter or early autumn, sorry, late autumn, or anyway, this time next year, I'll start doing some more planting, and I'll just in between that time focus on this patio. So it's all, and I'm going to start putting everything down in a time frame, smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So smart planning, put it in my diary like I used to, and just like I'm doing with my client. And it's just getting there. It's just feeling really, it's not feeling so exhausting on me, even though my body's really tired and I've got a lot of pain. But this beautiful lady came to me the other day, really good friend of mine, with these essential oils that she made specifically for my vertigo and my body pain. And she showed me where to roll it on and everything. And I was like so grateful. So I've used it quite a few times. So every time my vertigo kicks in, which is a lot, when I drive the car, it's really funny. My head goes up and backwards into itself. It's quite a strange feeling. But now that I'm getting more and more used to working with the vertigo, I just go, it's almost like I do a, oh, and come forward. And it's almost like I go with the backward flip and go, oh, vertigo tap. And then I come forward and go, okay. And then when the next backward flip goes to happen, I hold on to something and I go, Lord, take this vertigo away. I do not need this. And then I go, what is it that I need to identify? I go, what, am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Am I moving too fast? Am I too hot? Like, what is it that I need to know? What is the vertigo showing me? So I've been working really with the vertigo, and that's not been so debilitating lately, which is really cool. And yeah, everything's just become, I'm working really hard. I've been really busy. I've been having some really late nights. Unfortunately, the dogs are spending more and more time alone. But that's why I have two dogs, and the youngest one is now old enough that I've been able to leave them alone, and so I'm able to get ahead financially, thank the Lord. And today was church day, which is really beautiful, and had a beautiful barbecue with a group of friends, and then a big walk along the river with some friends, and just all these peaceful, beautiful, simple activities, and lots of hard work in between the Sunday. I mean, with that hedging, which is hard work, I probably shouldn't have done it because Sunday's supposed to be the rest day, but I'm really glad I did it because it's such a beautiful afternoon. It's not too hot. We've been having some really cold days, like freezing cold days, and I was like, oh, winter's kicked in. And right now it's nighttime and I'm in a singlet. It's a balmy afternoon, and it's just making me remind me, like those few really grey, freezing cold. We had about a week of freezing cold weather and grey days, and I was like, oh, winter's already here, but it's not yet. But it reminded me our winters here are very grey and very cold. So I was like, okay, winter's coming, get ready. Oh, so I really need the library organised before winter. So when winter starts, I'll just really gun ho my writing and my studying. And so I just got to put my arms down. I really gun ho my writing and my studying. And the fire will be going, and doing my art and craft. And I've still got a few more. I've still got another month before winter really kicks in. And yeah, there you go. So that's my live. That's my update. I've been learning a lot as per usual, and most days I think about what I want to share with you all and say to you all. I needed time out. I needed some time to myself. I had done some videos, but I just don't know whether I'm going to post them or not. Many times I thought I better do a live and catch up with everyone, but I just needed that time for myself. I just think I needed I wasn't, see, there's so much that I need and want to share, and so much that I'm being told by God to share, or it feels like I'm being guided by God. And I write and I take notes, and I'm get prepared, and then I keep thinking it's not at the level of how I want it to be. So that's why when the library's set up and I've got everything formalized and categorized the way I really want it to be, I'm really, that's when my YouTube channel's really going to take off, because for me anyways, I mean, because this is just me having the outlet, but eventually it's going to be a very educational, informative therapy space, and we're going to do some really hard work. And there's all this avenues and processes and ways that I'll have sideline ways, so that there's extra work we can do that's more one-on-one, still online, but like away from the YouTube channel. So that's all there, and that's why this house renos are so, getting this house into a home, get it so I can unpack all my toolkit, all my therapy toolkit, and all my research information, and that's all still packed. It hasn't even been unpacked yet. I've been here 17 months and it hasn't even been unpacked yet. So yeah, this YouTube channel for me is just, I took a bit of a hiatus on it. Okay, so I just needed that time out for me. I've been doing a lot of just being the moment, being the day, just working on simplicity, working on being present, like as much as I can every second, like being really present in every second. And yeah, and every time I thought to do a YouTube live, I thought, do I really want to step up and share this right now? Because that would take me out of my feeling of being in my moment for me, because then I'm sharing myself with everyone else. And I was like, no, I really need this time for me. And that's probably the lesson that maybe some of you need to hear as well. That time out, the hiatus, talking with a really good friend of mine, like that sabbatical, that time out. There's a name and I've forgotten what it is, but Jesus took 40 days away and walked away into the mountains for 40 days. And it's that real reflection time. But I haven't been reflecting per se. I've been really active, and I've been actually with a lot of people in real time. And I've been doing a lot of face-to-face counseling. Like, a lot of people that are in my life are people that I'm giving a lot of my energy to and a lot of my love and care to. And I'm not saying it's draining, but because I was face to face and it was with a real person, and the dynamic is a real interchangeable dynamic. I don't want to use the word rewards. My energy giving was being reciprocated and balanced. Whereas with my YouTube channel, when I share and give of myself, it's a different energy, because I'm not necessarily receiving the reciprocation, or even knowing how it's being perceived sometimes. So it's a different energy. It's a different energy. Anyways, and also it's not one-on-one. So it's not like we can have a conversation and I'm sharing with you one-on-one as a conversation, because my phone's about to go flat. But that's good, because it's going dark, and I actually, my phone's gone really dark because it's actually about to go flat. Sorry about the sniffs. Anyways, my loves, my 369 Thrive Tribe, I trust all is well for you all, and looking forward to having more regular contact with you. Sorry I missed that beautiful, beautiful orange glow. If I had this stunning day again tomorrow, which apparently tomorrow's a rainy day, so apparently it's not going to be like that tomorrow. I missed it by 5 minutes. It was spectacular. But the rose pink sky, golden haze, absolutely everywhere. It was magical. And I wanted to show you. Oh, it was just so beautiful. Oh, And I didn't even get a photo of it. But that's just how life is sometimes, isn't it? So what am I going to say to you? I'm going to say, take your sabbaticals when you need them. I'm going to say, yeah, I still got to work out. I'll just move this hedger into the there's the crescent moon. Beautiful. I should have shown you that before this is the hedger. I just got to bring the hedger inside. So it doesn't get... So it's apparently tomorrow it's going to be rainy, so I won't be able to show you the orange glow, but there'll be another day. And next time what I'll do, all right, promise, I will actually... sorry about this. I'm going to... a bit tired, sorry. Whew. I'm going to... sorry about the darkness. I'm going to show you that beautiful autumn sunset next time I actually get it, because sorry that you missed it today. That was the intention of this video. Anyways, I've done it. Hello. So I've done it. I finally did a YouTube live. It's been weeks since Easter. Easter was when I started my sabbatical time. Easter was when I started my sabbatical time, because I had to do a lot of reflecting around what Jesus went through for us. And it really put me into, I'm not going to say put me into a place of depression at all, but it put me into a place of sorrow and grief for the suffering that Jesus went through for us. It actually really, I found this Good Friday, Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday of that Easter. So you see that window, I was on the other side of that just before. But I actually found that that Easter, because I've always had a relationship with God, my own type of relationship, but this was my very, very, very first Easter as a Christian. So I did Good Friday church at the Salvation Army with my friend, and then I did Good Friday Mass at the Catholic Church. It's called a liturgy. And then I did a Saturday Polish Easter with the Polish people. And then I did something else on Saturday, I can't remember now. And then Sunday, my Easter Sunday. And as a new Christian, really learning, and even today at church, the frailty. So God's blood was a shield for our sins. So Jesus' blood shields our sins. So he shed his blood for our sins, and he paved the pathway for our salvation by wearily and frailly walking along with that cross. He carried that cross all along that dusty road when he's exhausted and thirsty and completely, he'd been scourged, which is like having your skin and muscles ripped out. This whips with bits of sharp fish bones on the end. So basically, carrying that cross, that whole time he carried that cross, he did that for our salvation. He did that walk. He suffered so much for us. So that was really huge for me, and that's when I really needed time out. And I wanted to share my journey, what I was learning with you when that happened, but I just couldn't. It was I wanted to share it, and I kept getting a phone to do a live, and then every time I went to put in the title or actually set up the live, I just was like, I don't know how to share this. I don't know how to express what I'm going through. But yeah, that experience of just really realizing how much Jesus suffered for us, and how much God suffers for us when we don't accept our worth, how much God loves us. And I keep meeting all these friends and people who said to me, how is it that you've got to this place where you just can feel God's love so strong and you feel so worthy of God's love? And I said, I literally surrendered How many YouTubes have I said to her where it was actually I surrendered. I surrendered everything to God because it started with nothing made sense. So I surrendered to God because nothing made any sense. And then in that surrender process, and then I got the real epiphany of being a child of God and what that really means, and having this loving Father that just loves me completely, that is there to protect me and look after me and guide me. I was like, wow, 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 wow. And the first time in my life, I felt completely safe and I felt completely loved and protected. And I knew that God's love for me was just forever, and that everything about me was that. And then I saw myself how God sees me, this being, this worthy being that's completely and utterly, you know, perfect in my imperfections and completely like loved and lovable. And what causes God suffering is when we don't receive or accept or allow God's love and God's protection. And so I've been able to talk to so many people these last couple of months about the process of surrender. And they're saying to me, "What? How is it that you got to this place where you come from a place of love and you really truly are can transcend fear?" Like every time I have a feeling of doubt or fear, it literally lasts seconds because I say, "God, take this out of me, take this doubt out of me, take this fear out of me. Please, I know it's not for me. I'm slipping into fear and doubt. Please, God, take this out of me." So I won't allow it to stay in for very long because I know it's not what God wants of me. It's not godly. It's the devil trying to kick in. And then I'm getting this real strength of conviction. It's called gospeling. But this real strength of conviction that when people ask me questions or they ask me for support or advice, I've got this extra power in my voice, this extra authority in my voice. Is because it's from a place of experience, but it's from a place of just knowing. Like I've embodied God's love to such a deep level that I find that the second I slip into fear, I know it's of the devil. And all these people around me keep slipping into fear for long periods of time, or they're in fear all the time, or they very rarely step out of the fear. And they're asking me for support, help, and guidance. And I'm just so grateful that I'm in this position to help spread and reflect God's love and light to the world. It's a really beautiful experience. Yeah, very beautiful experience, everyone. So that's why I needed the time out to really reflect on Easter and everything God and Jesus did for us, and what that really means. And also realizing the process of suffering. When we as humans suffer, it's like we have to suffer. We have to go through those suffering times, deep suffering. I believe we have to hit that place of deep suffering to truly surrender. Can't know God's love without true suffering. I believe I'm yet to find someone who hasn't found the depth of God's love without a traversing the terrain of deep suffering, and in that process of deep suffering, completely surrendering to God, going, "God, I 100% surrender my life to you. I 100% surrender my destiny, and I am a vessel of your will, and you just guide me to do my divine purpose. Guide me." So, anyways, that's become a real, oh wow, it's just such a deep conviction and passion of mine now, and I feel so grateful to be an angel, an earth angel, doing God's ambassador work, and um, working through all this pain. Like I can barely move this wrist at the moment. I can barely move this wrist. I can barely move this thumb. I can barely move this shoulder from all the painting and sanding and all this shoulder here in here in particular. It's so painful. And yet I got out there and I did the hedge work. And that hedging is not hard, but I say, God, I really want to get that done because it's impacting my neighbour, and I just want it done because I've been wanting to do it for a couple of months now. It was really overgrown. And then I say that all the time: God, help me through this pain, step me through this pain. And then what I do is I have these beautiful, deep these hot baths with magnesium, and I'm having my curcumin and my magnesium every day, and I'm just making sure that I have restful evenings, and um like I just guys, I don't know. I could go on and on and on about the beautiful joy of surrendering to God and what it actually really means for us when we use our vessel, our life and our vessel in the service of God's divine purpose for us. Because when we surrender to God's purpose, we are just blessed with miracles and abundance. And that abundance is having a mindset of love and safety and peace um and all the worldly ways. And the world is so full of evil, and there's so much darkness, and there's so much twisted confusion and mind games, and there's so much horrible dark stuff that's going on. But that's what we're doing at church today. So Jesus is the light of the world. And then when we reflect, as the moon reflects the sun's rays, when we reflect God's love and God's light and Jesus' love and light, we bring light. We're bringing God's love and God's light to the world. So that's what my YouTube channel is about, everyone. Shining the light, illuminating light into the darkness, bringing out the light. Woohoo! All right. So I will show you the orange glow, the orange haze, and it's stunning. I'm sorry you missed it. It's like magical. It's like you. I promise you that I will actually get out there earlier and show it to you more. But anyways, this is what it made me go, I've got to show everyone. I've got to show this beautiful view. This is like magical. And then I missed it, but it got me out of my hiatus, my YouTube hiatus. So I'm not going to promise you when I'm going to be on YouTube again. I can't say it's going to be every day now. I remember the last time I was on, I told you I was going to talk to you about my vision of when I did surrender to God, and I want to share that vision with you. It's a very big vision, and I want to share other visions with you as well. So I haven't forgotten that I said that. Okay. I also haven't forgotten that I was going to talk a lot about Ecclesiastics. I remember many months ago I said we're going to go further into these chapters in the Bible. There's quite a few promises that I've been making about what I'm going to present and show, and I apologize for not completely honor my word. But in that, I really, really need you all to forgive me and understand that I'm a fledgling in this journey. And I find presenting this information to you all quite terrifying, and I'm confronting my fear. I'm constantly pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And then at the same time, I have actually had so much going on. And so I didn't want to keep repeating too many trials and tribulations. I wanted to show more of the successes and the miracles, and also I didn't know how to word. I literally didn't know how to word what I was experiencing around that Easter. The depth of despair I was feeling for what Jesus went through for us was so heavy that I actually went to a really deep. I mean, like really deep suffering. Like it wasn't depression, but it was a very deep grief of just how humans are. You know, what humans did, all these people that called him the king and, oh, yes, feed us. And then they go, whip him. And just the mockery that he had to go through, the suffering he had to go through because of people's vanity, you know. And then what happened was also then we had a week of really cold, bitterly grey days, and I wasn't ready for winter. And I was like, I'm not prepared, I'm not ready. And then I tried really hard not to fall into fear, but I was like, I'm sorry, not ready for winter, help. And then I went, don't get overwhelmed, please, Nadina, don't get overwhelmed. And then I had to get the house ready for my son, 2 sons and my daughter-in-law's visit. And then I had to get ready for this new job. And and then my dog got his sterilisation. I had to, monitor his healing after that. So yeah, he's got the cone off now and he's sterilised, thank the Lord. And my female dog's booked in 3 weeks. So then I've got to have the cone on her head and keep her, you can't let them exercise for a week. It's really hard. You got to make sure they don't bust their stitches. So I'm not saying life's been hard. I'm just saying that wasn't in the mindset to be studious and to be teachable. No, so I was teachable, but I didn't want to be in a place of being someone presenting information. I didn't know how to. I didn't know what to say. And I thought, don't need to. Just chill out. Just this is your time. I did do a few videos that I was going to upload to say, hey guys, this is what's going on. And then I kept thinking, that video is so, I don't know, it just felt so, I don't know, just passed. I just didn't, thought, Nadina, you're just doing that to cover tracks. Just wait until you're ready to actually do a live. And some of those videos I still might post. I don't know. I've got to look through them again and see are they really worthy of it. And I don't know. I've got a lot of videos that I'm probably going to delete that I've been sort of thinking, will I share this? Won't I share it? I was doing a lot of discussions around abundance, but I think I've already done a lot of YouTubes on abundance, so I didn't want to be too repeaty. And yeah, just oh gosh, but the abundance is incredible. Abundance doesn't look like money, by the way. Abundance is a mentality. It's actually a mentality, and it's actually about a perspective. It's actually about a place of, it's a sense of gratitude. You know, we're abundant when we see the beauty in the sky, and when we've got beautiful friends, and we've got these gorgeous creatures to cuddle, and we've got a safe bed, and we've got good food to eat, and jumper to wear when it's cold. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. It's more than that. Prosperity and abundance is actually, it's a perspective and a mentality. It's a lifestyle. It's a ethos. It's an ethos. It's an ethos. Trust me, you surrender to God. Abundance is God's gift to you. God gives you the gift of pure abundance, and miracles abound and blessings abound every single second. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. So, adios, amigos. Love you all. I'm not sure when I'll contact you next. Tomorrow, apparently, it's raining. And we have some, but the next autumny afternoon that's absolutely stunning, I promise. And I'll tell you what else. On that autumny afternoon, I'll discuss at least one of my visions, okay? I shall do that. Shall honor my word. Alrighty, you've got to remember to turn this off. Okay. Keep well, everyone. Lots of blessings, all right? God bless. Love you. It's hard to turn this thing off, so it's a stupid little cross just up the top. It's actually quite hard to turn a YouTube live off. Oh, gosh. It's so annoying. I don't know why it doesn't work. Okay, here we go. See ya. Bye-bye. Woohoo. See you later. Auf Wiedersehen.